Welcome to the channel. In today's episode, we examine the case of a trusted financial manager who, beginning in 2016, launched a long-running fraud scheme from inside her own workplace. We expose real story of money, power, and betrayal. Today's story takes us into the offices of a well-known South African company called Cellucity, and into the double life of a woman named Sharlene Phillipson Garcia. For years, Sharlene worked as a financial manager and was trusted with the company's money. She worked quietly behind the scenes, overseeing accounts, authorizing payments, and managing sensitive financial systems. By the time the fraud was finally uncovered, more than 70 million rand had disappeared. Even more disturbing were claims that a portion of the stolen money had been channeled to close family members, raising questions about complicity, benefit, and shared responsibility. Calculated deception, misplaced trust, and the high cost of financial crime. This case serves as a powerful reminder that financial crime is rarely sudden. It grows quietly, transaction by transaction, year by year, until the damage is irreversible. And when the truth finally emerges, the consequences are never limited to just one person. By early 2026, the Western Cape High Court had delivered a major ruling in a shocking corporate crime case. A former Cellucity employee, Sharlene Phillipson Garcia, was ordered to pay back more than 50.68 million rand after being caught in a massive embezzlement scheme. For nearly 8 years, Phillipson Garcia worked behind the scenes in Cellucity's finance department. During that time, she secretly stole at least 70 million rand from the company. Her method was calculated and simple. She created fake supplier invoices, inflated real ones, and then sent the money to a company she secretly controlled, called Basic Blue Trading. Instead of hiding the cash, she spent it. The stolen money was used to support family-run businesses and to buy at least 9 properties. None of these homes had bonds or mortgages. They were paid for in cash. In July 2024, red flags finally went up. Cellucity discovered strange entries in their books and confronted her. Soon after, she resigned and a full investigation began. Not long after leaving Cellucity, Sharlene also stepped down as a director from 3 other companies linked to her: Ohana and Beauty and Wellness, Little Phase, and Rolling Thunder Distributors. In August 2024, after uncovering the theft, Cellucity rushed to court and filed an urgent secret application. They asked the court to freeze 2 of their bank accounts and stop the sale or transfer of 9 properties connected to the case. At that stage, the company had only confirmed about 10.184 million rand in stolen funds and asked the court to grant judgment for that amount while protecting assets from being hidden or sold. Before the case returned to court, Cellucity filed more evidence. After further investigation, they revealed the true scale of the fraud. Sharlene had actually stolen at least 70.024 million rand. The case was far bigger and darker than anyone first imagined. Most of the people involved in this case agree on who the parties are and how they are connected, but a few family links are especially important. At the time the theft started in 2016, Sharlene Phillipson Garcia wasn't just an employee. She was also a director and shareholder in 2 companies and a member of a 3rd business. These companies would later become central to the case. Right around the time her theft was discovered, she suddenly resigned as a director from 2 of those companies. She also transferred half of her ownership in one business to her son-in-law and the other half to her son, a move that looked like an attempt to distance herself from the money. The companies themselves were closely tied to her family. She had funded 2 of the businesses herself. Her daughter and niece were directors and employees in those same companies. One company received a 6.9 million rand loan from her, interest-free and unsecured. Another got a 2.07 million rand loan, also interest-free and unsecured. But here's the red flag. When she started working in 2008, she earned 20,000 rand a month. By the time she resigned in July 2024, her salary had increased to 41,500 rand a month. Yet somehow on that salary, she managed to fund multiple companies, hand out multi-million rand loans, buy into another business for over 6.2 million rand. Cellucity claimed that these so-called loans were fake transactions used to wash stolen money. The stolen funds were laundered through her family's companies. Her personal finances were directly linked to those businesses. Her relatives knew the money came from crime and helped her hide it. She gave away her shares in one company for free to block the company from getting its money back. All the businesses were basically fronts, controlled by her and used to move and hide stolen money. Sharlene followed a clear pattern: steal the money, then move it into family businesses, then disguise it as loans and investments, and try to make it disappear. But Sharlene Phillipson Garcia pushed back against these accusations. In her response to the court, she claimed that the money she used didn't come from Cellucity at all. Instead, she said it came from an inheritance from her late father, gifts, and a loan from her father, money from her husband. She also insisted that all the companies linked to her were real, legitimate businesses, not fake fronts. This case involves 8 respondents. The first respondent is Sharlene, who is at the center of the case. The second respondent is a company called Basic Blue Trading, which Sharlene created, where she was the sole director. She transferred money from Cellucity into this company's bank account. Another respondent is Ohana Beauty and Wellness, a company where Sharlene's daughter was a director and minority shareholder, while Sharlene herself was also a director. There is also Little Phase, a company in which Sharlene's niece was a director and minority shareholder, and once again, Sharlene served as a director. Another respondent is Rolling Thunder Distributors. Sharlene had acquired a membership interest in this company. However, around the time of her resignation, she transferred those membership interests to her son and her son-in-law, free of charge. The company also asked the court to allow oral evidence, meaning that people should come to court and speak under oath about the remaining disputed issues. However, the respondents say the court should refuse this request. They argue that the judge should not allow witnesses to testify and that the case should be decided without oral evidence. Sharlene has also claimed that she used some of the stolen money to pay off debts that the company itself owed. Sharlene admits that she stole about 70 million rand from the company, but she now claims that at least 9 million rand of that money was actually used to pay the company's own creditors. Because of this, she argues that the company's real loss is less than what the company says it is. She attached a list to her court papers and said it shows payments made to the company's creditors. But there's a problem. Her claim does not match the company's records. The company's own schedule, which Sharlene does not dispute, clearly shows that more than 70 million rand was stolen. The company wanted a court order forcing Sharlene and another respondent to pay at least 50 million rand, still less than the total stolen. After reviewing all the evidence, the judge made a major ruling. First, Sharlene Phillipson Garcia and her company were ordered to pay back 50.68 million rand to Cellucity. On top of that, they must also pay interest on that amount, starting from the day the case was filed until everything is fully paid. Second, they were also ordered to pay Cellucity's legal costs, and not just normal costs, but heavy punitive legal costs because of the seriousness of the case. But the case isn't over yet. A full court hearing was set for the 4th of November, 2026. So as we close this case, we're left with some uncomfortable questions. How does one person quietly move vast sums of money without triggering suspicion? Was it blind trust placed in the wrong hands, a failure of oversight, or a system that simply wasn't designed to catch someone on the inside? How many warning signs were missed, ignored, or explained away? And the most troubling question of all, if this could happen here, how many similar cases are unfolding right now, hidden behind trust and routine? This case leaves us with more questions than answers, and a powerful reminder that when trust replaces accountability, financial crime can thrive unseen.